Right now, the situation in Suzhou is truly abnormal. This is no longer the Suzhou of a few years ago. This year, almost every industry seems to be struggling. I've witnessed the growth of Kunshan over the past 10 years, a place that once thrived with countless Taiwanese enterprises and attracted a large migrant workforce. But in the past 2 years, many Taiwanese companies have withdrawn, triggering a wave of workers leaving the city. Housing prices have kept falling, and many families are facing crises. Even though many apartments have dropped in over 40% in value, there are still no buyers. Businesses in Suzhou are disappearing en masse. Suzhou used to leave a strong impression with its advanced industrial and manufacturing systems. Now I'm at risk of losing tens of millions of yuan I've invested. Even the used car dealerships, 70% have gone bankrupt, despite having over 300 cars still in stock. I've worked in the used car business for over 10 years, and I've never seen times this tough. A city of over 12 million people like Suzhou now feels deserted. Streets are desolate, shops are empty. Even the once bustling Line 10 shopping street has become eerily quiet. Where have all the people gone? In Suzhou, many commercial spaces, especially ground floor shops beneath residential complexes, have posted for lease or for transfer signs. I estimate about one-third are like this. I took a walk around today and saw that once thriving commercial areas are now shut down, locked up, or completely empty. Local shopping malls are also abandoned. People say the unemployment rate has likely surpassed 1 million. Places that used to be crowded, like West City Plaza, Red Star Macaline, and Xingxing and Taimei, are now half-shuttered, with none of the food stalls that once filled the air with delicious smells. Suzhou, the strongest prefecture-level city in China, once known for its electronics factories that stayed lit all night, is now filled with empty buildings. One factory after another has gone bankrupt, and workers have steadily left. The wave of pay cuts and layoffs has finally hit the working class. Suzhou was once ranked among the top-tier new first-tier cities, known as the manufacturing capital of China, home to countless high-end foreign manufacturing enterprises. It used to rank just behind Shenzhen in exports and nearly overtook Guangzhou in GDP, placing among the top 4 cities nationwide. But in recent years, companies like Samsung, Sony, and Philips, along with many Taiwanese and Japanese-invested firms, have moved operations to Vietnam. Even local private businesses haven't been able to hold on. The local economy has taken a severe hit. Housing prices have collapsed, industries have declined, unemployment is rampant, and migrant workers are leaving the city in droves. Today, Suzhou feels like a ghost town. There are few jobs, low wages, many once busy neighborhoods are now empty, shopping malls have gone bankrupt, and business owners are mortgaging their cars and homes just to survive. Yet they still can't make it. Construction workers with no jobs available have long returned to their hometowns. Both small tech workshops and large tech firms are either shutting down or laying off in large numbers. All over the streets, you only see delivery riders, the only industry still surviving, though even it is saturated now. I've lived in Suzhou for 11 years and worked in finance for 10. I've seen tens of thousands of small and micro enterprises teetering on the edge of survival. Never have I witnessed such a bleak reality. Thinking back, the streets around Guanqian Street used to be so vibrant and prosperous. Now young people may never again experience the simple joy of strolling through those lively streets. There is no longer a breath of life. This is true for all of Suzhou. When people are too afraid to spend money, how can a city like this possibly keep developing? Since 22, due to declining household incomes and rising unemployment, housing prices have plunged uncontrollably. A resident in the new high-tech district said that actual price drops are far more drastic than the official figures suggest. Prices have already dropped over 60%. In my area, they fell from 35,000 yuan to under 15,000 yuan per square meter. Yet even at 10,000, no one's buying. In Suzhou, both Kunshan, reliant on Taiwanese firms, and the new district, on Japanese companies, are seeing foreign businesses pull out one after another. Each major exit causes a chain collapse of smaller firms. The situation is dire. Nothing, including housing prices, is sustainable anymore. I honestly never expected Kunshan Leakin to shut down production. The factory behind my place, once hiring workers year-round, has now ceased operations. That says everything about how bad this year has been. Suzhou's tourism has collapsed. Even on weekends, Tingli ancient town is nearly empty. Streets deserted, restaurants and bars vacant. A once crowded bar has shut down, and most shops on the main street are closed. Business is bleak. Taiwanese companies are also pulling out. 20 years ago, Kunshan thrived. 70% of the world's laptops were made here. Apple and Dell placed orders, and business owners made fortunes. Their motto was, work like crazy, take orders like mad. But rising costs and shifting orders to Vietnam have turned the once famous Kunshan speed into the Kunshan struggle. In the past, Kunshan attracted a large number of Taiwanese entrepreneurs. I myself opened a Taiwanese food store here over 10 years ago, and most of my customers were Taiwanese. As of 2023, around 100,000 Taiwanese people were still living in Kunshan. Over the past 3 decades, Taiwanese enterprises like Foxconn, Compal, and Mitek not only boosted Kunshan's GDP, but also created countless jobs and brought Taiwanese food culture to the city. It used to be everywhere. But now, as the investment environment in mainland China becomes increasingly difficult, Taiwanese business owners in Kunshan are withdrawing rapidly, and new investment has plummeted. Kunshan, once nicknamed Little Taipei, is losing its economic foundation, and job opportunities are drying up fast. Many Suzhou residents lament Kunshan is on the verge of becoming a ghost town. Desolate best describes the current scene: empty streets, shuttered shops, and waves of brands closing last year. Those still hanging on, like me, live in fear, barely surviving and on the brink of collapse. Just staying afloat is a struggle. I miss the past, the scent of street food, milk tea in hand, skewers in the bag, crowds filling the streets. That vibrant life from 10 years ago is gone. It's just after 9 p.m. and the streets are already deserted. This is Suzhou, the city with the highest GDP in Jiangsu province. How can a prefecture-level city be this silent? It's frightening. Not a single soul in sight. The roads on both sides feel haunted. In the past, if you went downtown on a weekend, it could take you half an hour just to find a parking spot. And now, basement level B3 is completely empty. A friend of mine who owns a textile factory in Wujiang had drinks with me recently and said that a third of his workers have already returned to their hometowns because Suzhou is too stressful. Better to go home and rest. People always say Suzhou has over 10 million permanent residents, but I can't help wondering, where did they all go? In Shanghai, both new and second-hand homes are flooding the market. In June, developers launched emergency clearance campaigns, slashing prices by hundreds of thousands, even millions. One luxury riverside apartment on Nanjing East Road, originally priced at 10 million yuan, is now just 3.78 million, a 72% drop. It even comes with 2 large terraces and stunning views. Yet buyers are skeptical. Why is this so cheap? What's the catch we're trying? The myth that housing prices only rise is now shattered. We tried to sell, but it would cost us money to do it. We listed our home in Suzhou for 1.3 million. After months of silence, the agent finally called with a buyer offering 1.1 million. But when we checked, we still owed 1.1 million on the loan. If we sold, we'd actually lose money, on top of losing our down payment, mortgage payments, and renovation costs. We'd have to pay 80,000 yuan just to walk away. We hesitated. My husband suggested asking the buyer to raise their offer by 80,000. But the next day, the agent told us the buyer had already bought the same layout in the neighboring building for 1.1 million. That's when our hearts sank. Homes are now as cheap as cabbage, and still nobody wants them. We're not desperate. We can still survive if we budget carefully. So we've decided not to sell, for now. But deep down, we regret ever buying this home. If we had waited, we could have saved so much pain. In Suzhou's Shangruij community, once developed as a high-end residential project by Vanke, a 130 square meter home once sold for 5.9 million yuan. Today, it's down to 3.5 million. One local, Mr. Guo, told overseas media, the real drop is over 60%. My place used to be worth 35,000 yuan per square meter. Now it's under 15,000, and no one will even take it for 10,000. We lost 1 million yuan in a year and haven't told our parents. We're a young couple, both born after 1995. Before our wedding, my in-laws helped us buy a home in Suzhou, paying the down payment and taking out a loan. The house cost nearly $3 million at the peak. This year, the price dropped by over $1 million. It hurts like bleeding from the heart. We haven't told our parents-in-law the truth. We just said, it dropped a little. But this little was their entire life savings from a small rural town. We considered selling, but then we'd have to rent. What about when we have kids and they need to go to school? So for now, we just try to hold on and pretend that everything is fine. When buying a second-hand house, don't rely solely on the paper property certificate. It might be invalid. Starting July 11th, Suzhou allows online property transfers without retrieving the original landlord's certificate. Unlike offline transfers where staff would take back the old certificate, online transfers are done via app, and the original certificate remains with the seller. To address this, the Real Estate Registration Center will publish an invalidation notice, but many buyers may not read it. As a result, the seller may still hold an invalid certificate. So when buying, always check both the electronic ownership certificate and the electronic ID photo to ensure the property is valid before making the deal. The four swords more terrifying than the housing price plunge will really come in 2025. These four things are related to Miami, job, and wallet. If you are still spending money lavishly, please watch this video carefully. The era of the 3,000 yuan monthly salary is really coming. The work that used to pay 5,000 yuan will now pay you 3,000 yuan. You can take it or leave it. In the future, there will be 3,000 yuan jobs everywhere. Don't be fooled by those boasting on the internet. The truth is that the average monthly income of 1.172 billion people in the country is less than 3,000 yuan, and only 1% of them have a monthly income of more than 10,000 yuan. The wallets of most ordinary people are empty. Second, the number of job seekers has exploded. Last year, there were 11.78 million college graduates, and this year there are even more. Last year's wave has not yet been digested, and now there are so many people scrambling to deliver food or drive Didi. If you still have a job now, just bear with your boss when he scolds you. Being able to enjoy the air conditioning in a cubicle is already a blessing. How many young people in Shanghai quit their jobs out of anger and can't find a new job for half a year? Now, having a job is a blessing. Third, don't think about investment. Money will be lost wherever you put it. Real estate no longer preserves value. Stocks are fun to play with, and the interest on financial products is pitifully low. If you think of opening a store or investing, you're thinking too much. The global entrepreneurship survival rate in 2025 is trend, and that's just the survival rate. The money in your pocket can either turn into fluff or be wasted on investment. With just these two options, how miserable are you? Blogger Dawei said that fourth, Chinese men really can't support their families. There is a term in economics called labor support, which refers to how many people one person can support through work. The United States can support 5 people, Japan and South Korea can support 3.5 people, and China can only support 1.1. This means a man can barely support himself even if he works hard. The housing prices in Shanghai have become a huge joke. If they continue to fall, how many people will face financial problems?